Dear Andrew, let me tell you a story. It's a story about grandmothers and mothers and children. It's about special places and making memories. When your grandma was just a baby, her father built a cottage. A tiny, cozy cottage on the shores of Lake Huron. It was a perfect storybook kind of cottage, painted nostalgic white with cherry red shutters and nestled among tall trees. A stone path led to a rickety flight of stairs, which led to a sandy cove, where the waters of Lake Huron were tamed by gigantic rocks. Grandma spent every summer there until she was a young adult. She learned how to walk on these sandy shores, holding her mother's hand to steady her steps. She learned how to swim in the cold waters. And each summer, her grandmother visited. They spent time together reading, walking, and cooking. Grandma still remembers the taste of the applesauce that her grandmother made, and says to this day, it's the best applesauce she's ever tasted. Years later, Grandma returned to the cottage as an adult with her own children. I was 2 when I made my first visit to the cottage, and Aunt Sarah was just a baby. I toddled among the rocks, searched for seashells in the sand, and wiggled my toes in delight as the tiny waves crashed on my little feet. I picked up rocks that my grandfather would cut and polish for me. When the days were rainy, my grandmother would sit me on her lap and read to me, taking my finger and pointing to each word in the primer that she had saved just for me. And at night, I'd climb up the wooden stairs to the loft and fall asleep listening to the voices of the adults who spent hours talking on the porch. I felt warm and safe and very cozy. My grandmother died when I was 7, and that following summer, we returned to the cottage one last time before it was packed up and sold. I didn't feel it at the time, but a part of my childhood disappeared as we drove away for the last time. Though the time at the cottage are the most wonderful and cherished memories that I have, they're scattered and vague. Even now, 25 years later, I still miss being there. A part of me aches to return with my mother. And now that I have my own child, with you. Yet the cycle of grandmothers, mothers, and days spent with their children has been broken. This place where so many of my memories were made has changed as well. Too much to reclaim what I remembered from so long ago. And so, my wish for you, Andrew, is a place of your own to make new memories with your grandmother and with me, and that those memories bring you the same joy that they have brought generations before you. I love you, Mom.